Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukeness Monster. Today we're going to be talking about the Black Series Tartakovsky Walmart exclusive Captain Fordo that was released in the Black Series. It has already been sold out for quite a while now, but we did finally get actual images of what the figure looks like, and there has been quite a bit of controversy going around the Black Series community over this figure. A lot of people were super hyped for it, and now that Walmart has actually released images, a lot of people are disappointed. So I am just going to jump into it and cover everything about it, why some people have some opinions, why some people have other opinions, and what I think about it as a whole. Real quick though, if you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that sub button because we are giving away this ARC Trooper Echo once we hit 5k subs. You do have to be subbed to the channel though. And yeah, pretty simple how you enter. Once we hit 5k, I'll make a giveaway video. All you have to do is comment on that video and make sure you are subscribed, and that is how you enter. I'll just pick a random comment a few weeks after that, so make sure you are subbed, and on to the video. So yeah, this figure was so hyped because everybody's been asking for a Fordo for a very long time, and Walmart went ahead and put up a pre-order for like the image of what the character looks like, and we just now a few weeks ago got images of what the actual figure looks like. So it is nice to finally have images of it, but I am kind of disappointed with how it came out. And I actually do have a lot of problems with this figure, and that's only because it is super inaccurate. I'll throw up an image of what Fordo actually looks like, and then I'll throw up what the figure they released looks like, and it's just not very similar at all. So he is considered an ARC Trooper, which is cool. I love the ARC Troopers, and they just reused the ARC Trooper Echo mold, and I'm pretty alright with that, except for one big problem. Fordo looks nothing like ARC Trooper Echo. Granted, they did give him a brand new Phase 1 helmet with the rangefinder, which is a brand new mold for the Black Series, so it is super nice to get that finally. It does look really good, so mad props to them for that. That's one of my favorite parts of this figure, is that Phase 1 helmet. It looks super clean. But it's from the neck down that I have the biggest problems. To start off, the just type of pauldron is inaccurate. If you do look at it, he has like the two shoulder side ones, whereas in the show it's more of like a U that goes all the way across. It's more of like one piece rather than the two shoulder ones, and what they did is they just repainted the Echo version, and I'm alright with that because you could say, hey, they're going for a realistic look, and okay, I'm fine with that. I understand Black Series going with a realistic look, but that's not the problem I have. The problem I have is it seems like Hasbro couldn't decide if they wanted to go with a realistic look or the animated look, so what they did is they kind of did neither. So they took the realistic mold and then tried to put the animated look onto that realistic mold, and it just doesn't work. So for starters, in the animated version, Fordo does not have this chest piece right here. This big chest, like gray chest piece, Fordo doesn't have it. And so what Hasbro decided to do was they just painted it white. And it just looks really bad. I mean, I understand what they were trying to do, but it does not come off as good at all. I think what they should have done is somehow made a new mold for this pauldron. If they wanted to keep it realistic, they could have made a new mold with this pauldron, or what they could have done is they could have painted that gray and gave him some kind of design with this on it instead of just painting it white, because it seems like what they did, they're just like, hey, if we paint it white, nobody will notice it's even there, and it just doesn't work. And another big thing that I have like a really big problem with, there's no excuse for this at all, is they didn't move the pouch over to the other side. In this mold for Echo, they have a little notch in the armor for the pouch to be glued on this side if it's needed to. So they could have done that easily. Literally, this is just glued on. You could move it to that side. Problem solved, and they didn't even do that. That was the least they could have done, and they didn't even do that. Here's actually a like mock-up of what I think it should have looked like. It's actually by Falcon Customs on Instagram. The only thing I disagree with is the helmet. I like the idea of a Fordo ARC Trooper helmet, but I think the Phase 1 just fits a lot better. But for the actual armor, this is what I think it should have come out with. I think that front chest piece should have been painted gray. That's one big problem. If they were going with that ARC Trooper look, they should have went full out with that ARC Trooper look instead of just half doing it. It looks really bad. Another thing that Fordo doesn't have that this ARC Trooper mold has is all of these pouches right here, this straps that go right here, and the ankle armor. Fordo doesn't have any of that on the actual character, but since they use the Echo mold, they decided to throw it in anyway. And okay, whatever, but the biggest problem is the ankles are completely white. Like, they just thought, hey, if we don't paint it, it doesn't exist, and it just looks really really bad. Like it looks like they just left it half unpainted, and I don't understand why. I just don't get it. And honestly, I think there's several ways they could have fixed this. I think they could have swapped out the legs for a different type of legs. Maybe like this clone leg. This clone leg is perfect. They could have easily used those legs. And you're saying, well, if it's all part of one mold, they can't really switch the legs. Well, they can. They did it with the Elite Squad Trooper. I'll throw up the photo right now. That uses the original Rex legs, so they can switch it out. So, honestly, switch out these legs with these legs. That'll solve that problem. But there's still the problem with all these different pouches and stuff. But look at this. This belt, it's loose. It's not like glued on or anything. Hey, let's look at this belt over here. Hey, this one's also loose. Just put this belt on that figure. Like, it's not like it's molded in or glued on or anything. It's resting there. So they could have easily just put that on the other figure. It's like they just didn't put any effort into it. It's not, they don't even have to make new mold for the figure. All they have to do is swap out already existing molds, and I don't get it. And then my last critique is the fact that they didn't give Fordo his iconic pistols. If you didn't know what Fordo's pistols look like, it has like a silencer look on the front, where it just looks super cool, and they didn't do it. And I guess you could say, hey, well, it's a completely new mold for the pistol, so it's understandable that they wouldn't make a new mold. But the fact is, I understand that if they're going for that realistic look, like they kind of did, but the fact is that they didn't go full out with that realistic look. I still want those animated style blasters because they're super cool and they're pretty iconic to the character of Fordo. So really, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, overall, I'm pretty disappointed with this figure. There's a difference between a repaint and a lazy repaint. Something like the Black Series boss. There's been a ton of controversy over that like, hey, they didn't make a new mold for this part of boss. But the thing is, that mold for boss, okay, it's a little skinny, but it's still very, very similar to what boss actually looks like. The difference between boss and Fordo is Fordo looks nothing like this. The armor is completely different, and they just didn't care. So I understand the argument for boss, but the argument for Fordo is way, way worse. So I don't know, guys. That's gonna do it for the video, though. If you did enjoy, the like button and subscribe. Comment down below. What do you think of Fordo? I just honestly think he's a huge disappointment, and I think they could have at least tried, and they really didn't.